Today on Studio A, we are giving you tips to ace your finals, finding out how you can help those in need before Thanksgiving, and we'll take a trip to Wurstfest. We have that and much more coming up on Studio A. Hello and welcome to Studio A. I'm your host, Megan Stokes, and joining me at the table today, we have Zana Jones, Ashley Robertson, Kirby Johnson, and Keenan Colbert. Now the semester is winding down and there's just a few more weeks until finals. Every college student dreads this, but it would be a lot less stressful if we just took care of ourselves. Ashley, you tackled this story.
I did. Finals comes around every year, and so I wanted to take a look at how Texas State students prepare for finals.
On match 2.
The fall semester is coming to a close, and with that comes the dreaded final exams. It can seem overwhelming, but there are some ways to help make it go a bit easier. First, you need fuel. Making sure to eat the right way is important, especially when preparing for finals.
Lots of pizza. No, I mean, they should eat healthy, but I mean, they should eat what they enjoy eating, and in moderation.
Although having cram sessions at the library is common, it isn't ideal for retaining information.
For the student that waits to the end of the semester to kind of to do an entire dump of information in your head, that's not a great strategy.
Finals are more than just a destination. It's a process that affects us mentally and physically.
It's a process that begins at the very beginning of the semester. So, usually I tell the students at the end of the week that's a great time to go over the notes from classes during their previous week.
Avoiding caffeinated drinks and anything with lots of sugar can help students keep their focus rather than a short amount of focus and then crashing.
All that does is it takes your body up and then it takes your body down, and there's this imbalance, and so that creates anxiety and stress.
It's very important to get your rest, to exercise, to study. It's important to do all of those things, but throughout the entire semester and doing it regularly.
That was a very informative story, Ashley. The Counseling Center just hosted an event to help students with finals preparation. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, it's called Getting a Jump on Finals. It's held multiple times throughout the semester, and it's always held in the Student Center in a small classroom so that students are able to voice their opinions and ask questions without feeling judged.
What other resources are there on campus for students who need help studying?
There's the Student Learning Assistance Center, also known as SLAC, which is on the 4th floor in the library, and there's also the Writing Center, which is across from the den.
So there's a lot of places on campus to study, but what are some of the spots that you think are the best places to do it?
My personal favorite is Taylor Murphy's courtyard. It's very beautiful and it's always peaceful regardless of if there's classes going on. It's just very calming. The water is the fountain is very calming.
Thank you, Ashley. As students are preparing for finals, other students are preparing for a career after graduation. College students interested in the Marines have quite the journey to become a Marine Corps officer. Keenan, you found out a different way that students are beginning this journey. But before we get to your story, what kind of strength is needed to be a Marine?
In my experience from when I became a Marine back in 2012, I find that it's not just about the physical aspect of being strong enough of, doing the push-ups and the crunches and the, 3, 4, 5 mile runs. I think that it takes a lot of mental strength to get through those obstacles, to be able to do that with confidence and with the ability to lead and inspire those around you, and to get through all of that as one.
Let's check it out.
They are the few, the proud, but not yet Marines. They are officer candidates sworn into the platoon leaders class, an alternative program from ROTC that offers college students a shot at training to one day become Marine Corps officers.
ROTC is a big-time commitment, whether it's Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever it may be. The platoon leaders class and the officer candidates course program, you don't have to take additional courses. You don't have to wear uniforms to class. All that I need you to do is come work out with us during the week, early in the morning, and really maintain focus on your normal everyday life.
If you feel like you want to be challenged, if you feel like you want to be pushed, if you want to be part of a bigger brotherhood, more than yourself, more than just a football team, this is the opportunity to contribute back and do something different with your life.
On this day, candidates from several universities gathered in Austin to challenge themselves to the O course, along with other rigorous exercises to simulate some of the tests that await them at training. It's obstacles like these that aspiring candidates will have to go through to one day lead Marines. But when it's all said and done, candidates come together as one to rest, recover, and listen to the advice of the Marines present.
You wake up, you look yourself in the mirror, you know whether you put out or not.
One day soon, they'll put their skills to the test. For those that make it, they'll not only stand amongst, but lead the few, the proud, the Marines.
That was a nice story, Keenan. What attracts people to this program?
I think what attracts people the most to this program is the intangible assets that you can get from this program. It's not just, getting that Eagle Globe and Anchor in your hand once you finally become a Marine. It's having that confidence, having the leadership capabilities, those team building assets that you can take into not just your career in the military, but beyond that into your regular everyday life.
You said it's not all about the physicality. What are the requirements to get in the program?
The requirements to get into the program are actually pretty simple. All you need to do is be enrolled in a 4-year university, or you can even be in a 2-year university with a promise to go to a 4-year university, and maintain at least a 2.5 GPA, and that makes you eligible to apply.
And what kind of jobs can they get as officers?
There's really a wide range of jobs you can acquire once you become an officer in the Marine Corps. It's not just, being a platoon commander and having a rifle in your hand and charging into battle. No, you can, work as a mechanic. You can be a pilot. You can be a lawyer. There's a very large variety of options that you can easily obtain.
Thanks, Keenan. We're going from future careers and academics to entertainment for students here on campus. Earlier this month, a group of students got together to showcase their talents, some of them hidden and others not so hidden. Kirby, can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so the African Student Organization hosted a showcase for their members and non-members to come out and just show their talents to the community, and it was a really nice event.
Let's check it out.
The African Student Organization held a showcase called Reclaim the Throne to express all aspects of African culture.
So basically it was like a way of us saying like we're back and like we're ready for a new start, new beginnings, and we kind of come in harder than we did before. Give it up for them one more time.
Students who are not members of the organization were also given an opportunity to showcase their talents and express themselves. Students enjoyed performances that included singing, dancing, spoken word, and much more. ASO is not an exclusive group in spite of the name. In fact, all students are welcome to join the organization. Texas State sophomore Deja Hall shared her passion for singing at the showcase and left students with something to talk about.
Singing is kind of like my getaway. When I'm singing, I feel free. I feel like no one can judge me. I just feel like I'm in my own space, my own zone. It's just my comfort place. It's like my therapy.
Despite the different cultures and backgrounds that the event showcased that night, Reclaim the Throne was able to bring them together as one.
That looked like a really fun story to cover. What was your favorite performance?
Well, all of the performances were great, but Deja really stood out to me, which is why I wanted to know more about why she started singing, and her voice was just very angelic. She was really great.
And how can we find out more information about ASO?
Well, they encourage students to keep up with their social media. Their Twitter handle is TXStateASO. They also host weekly meetings in LBJ. They are not an exclusive group, so anyone is welcome to come and learn more about their culture and then just to come and support their events.
Can we look forward to more events from ASO?
Yes, absolutely. In the spring, they are hosting their date auction in February for Valentine's Day. It's an annual thing, and they're really looking out for a good turnout.
Thanks, Kirby. Another event on campus highlighted many problems people in this country face. Studio A's Dayanara Rios takes us there.
The Tunnel of Oppression is an annual event for students to learn about how oppression affects marginalized groups of people. Participants went through interactive stations to learn about topics such as discrimination, immigration, microaggressions, and Islamophobia.
I faced very different emotions. I was sad, angry, upset. I just wanted to, initially I wanted to hit somebody, but I knew that would be adding more hate to the fire, adding more fuel to the fire.
The experience was emotional for some people, but not all.
The word oppression kind of, I don't know, makes me laugh. The concept that anybody living in 21st century America could ever be oppressed. We live in literally the best country.
The Tunnel of Oppression is one of many events during the year for students to reflect on their worldview and initiate discussions.
The Underrepresented Student Advisory Council, or USAC, offers programs such as a day-long workshop called Equality University to promote education on diversity.
USAC focuses on one thing specifically, which is social justice. Social justice really looks like students being able to actually represent one another in a respectable way.
The Office of Student Diversity and Inclusion in the LBJ Student Center has additional resources on campus for people who want to learn more about diversity and oppression.
Thanks, Di. Up next, we're going to show you why giving is in season, and we'll take you to Wurstfest and check in on all that fun. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for a place that's got a sick beat? HipHop Congress is where you need to be. Open to all students looking for a good time. 2.0 GPA is all that's required. Hip-hop culture is one thing they discuss. Big events and lectures that bring awareness. At the end of spring, for those that didn't know, they throw an event called the Epidemic Show. A place where artists can show some mad skills. Crazy beats and talent promise to be ill. Every Tuesday, LBJ is where they meet. 67 sharp in LBJ-SC. So if you're looking for a place that's super fly, come stop by, there's no need to apply. Just bring some knowledge and some friends. Your life in hip-hop culture is about to begin. What's up? For those looking for more information, can follow HipHop Congress on Twitter at TXStateHHC. This has been a public service announcement.
Welcome back. As you eat your delicious Thanksgiving dinner next week, don't forget about those who won't be doing the same. I visited the Round Rock Serving Center to see how they're helping people this holiday season.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the cooler weather in general reminds us that not everyone gets to have food on the table or a warm coat to wear. The Round Rock Serving Center provides for 1,100 households that rely on the donations of food and clothing. For now, that number is steady.
Also at this time of year, we have turkeys in our pantry. So our families are coming through. We will see an increase in our number of families coming through to get food during the holidays. That always happens in November and December.
The Round Rock Serving Center implements many programs that area families rely on. The Adopt a Family Thanksgiving program and Coats for Kids are the main focuses for the holiday season. These programs help put food on the table in the form of goods and gift cards.
There's a lot of hardship, and I think the center offers at least a kind of lighten the burden just a little bit. And I know can't solve anybody's problems, but I think they look to the center as a little relief.
Coats for Kids guarantees that area children will be bundled up in colder weather.
Total, we've already helped about 440 kids so far, and we just started. That's been a week since last Tuesday, so, and it's all through December, so I can only imagine those numbers, doubling.
The Serving Center says that volunteers and donations are always welcome and needed. Food, furniture, and clothing can make a serious difference in a family's life.
A small gesture can really help someone in need. The people that agreed to talk to me that use the Serving Center seemed very appreciative of what was offered.
Megan, what is the Adopt a Family program exactly?
So Adopt a Family allows for client families to be adopted out by other families, and so they'll receive things like HEB gift cards or an actual meal that they can enjoy on Thanksgiving.
Do client families pay a discounted price on groceries?
They don't. The way that the Serving Center works is that client families will receive vouchers so they can go one time per month to get all their groceries and necessities. In our next story, we meet a man who is a talented musician, but he's not playing in one of San Antonio's concert halls. Studio A's Samantha Vasquez has his story.
You hear the pounding of the bucket from a block away. The person behind this is 31-year-old Alan Party.
I think he's doing a great job. Amazingly that he's got makeshift, buckets to do this with.
Party is from Central Connecticut and has been in San Antonio since March. He makes his money 5 days a week. His money ranging from $250 to $20 and has been playing the drums for 22 years.
It's mostly buckets and used buckets and cans, and I used a rim once, like with the tire on it and everything. I had a bunch of different spots that made different noises.
The streets are not only where Alan makes music, but makes a living. According to the United States Census Bureau, there are 16% of people in San Antonio living in poverty. More than 37 million people use the food bank for emergency food assistance.
The gentleman in the corner, I honestly feel like he's trying to do something, and he's not just out here begging for money like the way we have the others, but he's actually pretty good in what he does, considering he has buckets and metal just that like there. Party has an art degree in visual arts from the Hartford Art School in Connecticut. He has experience with oil paintings and oil pastel drawings.
Art supplies are really expensive, and just the position that I'm in, I can't afford to buy stuff, and I don't really have a place to set up, and work on stuff. And I make money a lot faster doing this.
Thanks, Sam. Up next, we are taking you on a trip to the annual Wurstfest in New Braunfels. We'll be back in a moment.
There's only one good reason Hamish could be withholding water from me, because he knows that I've almost found it.
It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed.
It was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York.
Books have always been gateways to new worlds, with a story for everyone to discover. They always leave you wanting more.
And there's no better place to find them than the San Marcos Public Library.
The public library has a wide range of books for you to check out, and they even have computers readily available to help you find exactly what you're looking for.
Once you've found the book of your dreams, you can take it home after a checkout with one of the friendly librarians available.
Aside from their massive collection of books, they also offer many community activities, both seasonal and year-round, such as free computer classes and yoga.
For more information, please visit their website or call 512-393-8200.
Come visit the library to discover a new story today.
Welcome back. Wurstfest celebrates the German heritage of New Braunfels. Studio A's Stephanie Alvarez got a closer look and got to soak in all the fun.
On the first Friday of November, New Braunfels holds a 10-day salute to sausage.
We love the Wurstfest!
Wurstfest is a unique Texas-sized celebration rich in German influence, like that of its host city. German immigrants settled New Braunfels in the mid-1800s. The festival started as a way to showcase the city's sausage-making heritage, but over the past decades, it has grown far beyond the casing. The Wurstfest Association oversees the festival.
The 280 OPAs that are involved with the association, as soon as this festival is over, we're already starting to plan and have meetings and talk about, okay, what did we do good? What did we do bad? What do we need to improve on? And so that's our major focus.
For Krieger and the association, the goal of Wurstfest is to keep New Braunfels close to its roots by sharing the very best of German food, beer, and polka music. Here in Central Texas, German heritage is alive and well because of the healthy diet of sausage and beer. Vendors offer an array of traditional German merchandise and food, from collectible beer steins, Black Forest cuckoo clocks, bratwurst, sauerkraut, and schnitzel. Of course, the festival wouldn't be complete without an endless flow of authentic German lagers and pilsners. Janet Williams is one of the 100,000 visitors who come annually to partake in the festivities. She's gone to Wurstfest for the past 40 years because of the fun and support it brings to New Braunfels.
I don't know, just the polka music and everybody gets so excited and, the food is really good and it's just a lot of fun.
Now, Wurstfest isn't all about the pitchers of beer and fried food. Zaina, you had a different experience when you were exploring New Braunfels.
Yes, I did. Wurstfest also hosts different events during the week, and the Conservation Society was one of them.
Let's check it out.
When it comes to showcasing the German heritage in New Braunfels, Wurstfest is front and center. The 2-week festival grabs the headlines, but other groups in the city keep German culture alive year-round without the spotlight.
There are people that live here in New Braunfels and have probably lived here all their lives, and they would not be able to tell you where Conservation Plaza was.
The goal of the Conservation Society is to keep the history of New Braunfels alive by preserving historic houses and artifacts just the way their ancestors left them.
a group of people were so upset that things were being torn down to make way for progress that things were being lost. The German heritage was being lost. And so the Conservation Society was formed in 1964 to keep the German heritage here in New Braunfels.
Wurstfest isn't all about the beer. It's also about helping the New Braunfels community keep the German heritage alive. Even though the Conservation Society has been overlooked at times, they try to become memorable with customers during Wurstfest by selling homemade soup, sandwiches, and desserts.
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for Wurstfest. That's why we do it, is during the Wurstfest week, to get people to come out and see Conservation Plaza, to know what's going on out here, to visit the buildings, and to hear about the history of the museum.
Why did you choose to do your story over the Conservation Society?
Well, we all know that Wurstfest is fun and you get wrapped up in all the crazy from the food, the live music, and the beer. So I just wanted to see where this awesome tradition started.
So what can we do to keep the German heritage alive?
You can continue to go to the Wurstfest and celebrate the German heritage, and you can also visit the Conservation Society and help other nonprofit organizations preserve artifacts and houses.
Zaina, how can people learn more about the Conservation Society?
You can go to their website, newbraunfelsconservation.org, and you can find all you need to know there.
Thank you, Zaina. Next, we are wrapping things up with a look at Texas State's women's lacrosse team and a quirky spin on a popular sport. Stay put for more Studio A.
The LBJ Student Center is home to many different things, but on the 4th floor resides Texas State University's own Get Involved at LBJ Student Center. Here, students can find various information on different organizations on campus. The goal of Get Involved at LBJ Student Center is to contribute to meaningful experiences by engaging Bobcats in student organizations, service to the community, and participation in programs.
With our organizations, with volunteering, with everything that we have that students can get involved with, it creates the full college experience so that when you look back in a couple years, you're like, I did so much more than went to class. I made friends, I made connections, I networked, I became a leader, and it helped me with getting to where I am today.
There are over 300 registered student organizations here at Texas State University, and the number continues to grow. With so many, there are opportunities for any student to get involved. For more information on the office and how you can get involved at LBJ Student Center, visit the Get Involved website or visit the front desk on the 4th floor of the LBJ Student Center.
Welcome back. Our women's lacrosse team has been dominating, but they are now facing some new challenges. Studio A's Antonio Reyes talked to the team about hopes for another season of success.
Last year, the Texas State women's lacrosse team was ranked 5th in the nation and 2nd in their division. The women were led by longtime coach Terry McCarthy, who has since left the team.
We had a coach who had been coaching us for, I think, 10 years, and his whole life was the team, and so we're in a transition right now.
With no coach at the moment, the women are looking to veteran players to step up and lead the team until they find a new coach.
The Texas State women's lacrosse team hopes to regain its magic from last season.
Last season, the team came up just short of winning the division title, losing to LSU 11-9.
It was actually really crazy. It was really thrilling, too. I didn't expect it, but somehow we just kept putting points up.
The team is now in the process of training new players for the spring season opener by playing scrimmages and preseason tournaments.
I expect to improve a lot because I've never played, but I think this year is going to go good. I think we have a lot to learn.
That learning curve will be put to the test when the Bobcats open their season in January.
Thanks, Antonio. Lacrosse is a sport most Americans are familiar with, but polo, probably not so much. Typically, we think of rich people playing it on horseback in exotic places. So Studio A's Drew Barber discovered a local group that has put a new take on this classic game.
For most, polo is played on a horse. Now, players are riding something different.
I was actually just getting into cycling, and one of my buddies was playing on top of a parking garage. So I went there, and there's just a bunch of guys hitting balls with mallets, and I immediately fell in love and started building up a bike to play.
Bike polo is becoming a popular sport in the States and around the world.
It started up in Seattle and basically blew up. I've been to Tokyo and played with people over there. All over the world, basically any city you want to go to, there's probably a bike polo scene.
The game is played in teams of 3. Whoever makes 5 goals first wins.
One special rule when making a goal is you have to hit the ball with the hammer side of the mallet or else it doesn't count.
No matter who wins, everyone is just there to have fun.
It's just such a cool community of people. Like, you have people from all over Texas, all over the nation. It's really cool just to travel with people, have people come stay with you. You'll always have a place to crash, so it's a cool community.
Thanks, Drew. That's all we have for today and for the semester. I'd like to thank all of our reporters for sharing their stories, and I'd like to thank you for watching all semester long. For Zana Jones, Ashley Robertson, Kirby Johnson, and Keenan Colbert, I'm Megan Stokes. Studio A will return in February, but in the meantime, have a happy Thanksgiving and a great winter break.